Welcome to... Oh, shit, this is the wrong one.
Which one are you talking about?
I was gonna say Can I Roll for Survival. That's
Nope.
not what it is. This is the Friday show, guys. It's the second episode. We made it 2 weeks in a row. See? We're consistent.
So far, yeah.
How you doing, Lucy?
I'm okay.
Any news for you?
I recently moved. You were there, so you know about that.
Yeah, that's not news. I don't think they want to hear about that.
I don't know. Did anything interesting happen while we did that?
What, during the move?
Yeah.
I almost passed out. That's about it.
You're still
It
out
was
of
like
shape,
100
Danny.
degrees and you don't... It was 100 degrees and you don't have air conditioning.
I didn't. Now I do.
Oh,
We live in
God.
Florida, so it's crazy to not have air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm in a garage right now that I broke a hole in one of the walls and put it like a Mickey Mouse
That was
air conditioning.
By the way, that was one of the worst days of my life.
Really? That was fun for me. I thought we were going to break down the house.
I was like, because we had to cut a hole in a cinder block wall to
With
put,
no eye protection.
So I was just getting
I
just
was
cement
petrified.
dust in my eyes, in my lungs. It was crazy.
Oh,
I was
God.
just a saw.
Oh, the
and you couldn't
whole
see
garage.
anything. You couldn't see where you're cut. It was insane.
By the way, that's not legal. I'm looking at the air conditioner right now.
No.
That shouldn't be there. If a cop was to pass by, they'd give me a ticket.
That's
you can't
like
have that.
one time when Poppy was working in Miami Beach, I was cutting tiles outside, and like it was on a porch with like white tiles on the floor, and it was so hot outside, and the sun was so bright, and I didn't have eye protection. So what I was doing was just putting my hands like just over my eyes so that the ceramic from the tile when I was cutting with a saw wouldn't get in my eyes, but I had to leave it open enough to actually see where I was cutting. And then the sun was going back into like glaring off.
God.
It was insane.
When I was a kid, we were doing, I forgot what we were doing, but I was working with my dad, our dad, and a piece of wood flew into my eye. You probably remember this when I was a kid.
Yeah, I thought you were a bitch.
Yeah.
No, I remember this. No, I think this is hilarious.
It wasn't. It was horrible. It was horrible. The piece of wood literally went into my eyeball, right? And it hurt, and nobody would take me to the hospital. And I was
look,
begging.
Danny,
I was begging to go to the hospital, right? And then I finally went, and then I said to the nurse, asked what's wrong, and I said I got a piece of wood in my eye, and he said, yeah, you do. We're gonna get that out of you.
But it was so funny because we were just like, you were just saying, oh, I gotta go to the doctor, I gotta go to the hospital. And we're just like, why are you being such a bitch right now? and then Poppy's like, finally like, okay, fine, I'll take you to the doctor, you fucking pussy. And then you go, and then they're like, oh yeah, he was about to lose his eye or some shit.
No, they
you
said
just had like wood in your eye.
They said what happened is like I was working with my dad, and you didn't use eye protection. Tell it to my dad.
Eye protection doesn't exist. I don't know. I've never seen it.
Every time now, like ever since then, I've been like, I always work with eye protection, right? Because I study construction in school, and they said, yeah, do that. You should wear eye protection. And so now every time I use eye protection, and I think like last month I was doing a tiling job with our dad, and I said, he told me to cut some tile, and I said, yo, I need glasses. I need something. Give me your glasses or something. I don't know.
What did Poppy say?
Poppy said, are you so much of a pussy that I'm going to have to cut this tile myself?
I love that.
I said, hey,
how much of a
tile.
piece of shit is he for just like, you're just like, I need eye protection. He's like, are you going to make me cut this by myself? No, I'm telling you to give me eye protection.
No,
you're going to make me cut this by myself.
I told Poppy, yo, you got to cut this tile because I'm going to lose an eye. All right. That shit hurts. Yeah. Seriously, I'm not going to play around like that anymore. I'm white. I turned myself white.
Look, I'm basically white at this point. I eat tofu like regularly. I'm a vegetarian.
I mean, that could be one of the topics for today, how white you turned out.
I don't think I'm that white, though.
You're a vegetarian?
There's Hispanic vegetarians.
You read a lot of Dostoevsky?
I read Crime and Punishment, okay? That's not a lot of Dostoevsky.
You live with a white girl? That's a big one.
That's not. That might make me more Hispanic.
That tofu shit doesn't help though.
No, the vegetarian shit doesn't help. low carb.
Can you really lose your Hispanicity? Is that a thing?
I don't think I can.
I feel it is. I feel you can.
Well, if you completely denounce it, if you're just like basically, because like, look, if I really wanted to, I can just start saying I'm Italian or something. Like I'm white enough that people might think I'm white if I
know,
even though nobody's ever thought I'm white in my life except for Alex when I met her, because she thought I was Italian or something. But she's from she's from Michigan. They don't have like Cuban.
They don't have
there.
Hispanics.
They have Mexicans. Latinos. The only thing they have there is Mexicans, and not even a lot of them. So she's like, okay, all Hispanic people look like that. And it's like, no.
Yeah. That's a very true thing. Like, Mexicans look very different from Caribbean people. So they either think it's like anybody who's not from the East Coast, Florida or New York, they just think is like, all right, this guy's Polish or Italian or some shit.
Yeah.
Like now.
And that's so, it was weird to me when growing up watching TV and shit. Because you know the thing, it's like everybody thinks you're like all Hispanic people are Mexican or something. That
well,
like
on the West Coast.
Yeah, but like, or just like literally anywhere other than like Florida and like, or New York, just places that get a lot of like Caribbean immigration and South American immigration and shit.
How hard would it be to be Hispanic in like Alabama?
I mean, you'd just be picking fruit, but.
That's racist.
No, it's not. I saw a lot of documentaries about people like when they started cracking down on immigrations. The Mexican population, it was specifically in Alabama, the Mexican population just left because they're like, well, we need to work and they're going to like, you know, kick us out. So we'll just go to a different state.
They just left and like the economy like just got ruined.
Yeah. And the farmers are like, we need these people. It's weird to me, the arguments that like, this is arguments that liberals are making at this point. It's like we need to be able to pay Mexican slave wages because of our thing. It's like, how is this a liberal argument to be able to pay Mexican slave wages to pick our fruit?
That's not even the problem. I saw a similar documentary. It was about like shrimp farmers, shrimpers. I don't know. People on a boat looking for shrimp. Shrimpers?
Shrimpermen.
Shrimpermen. So these shrimpermen are getting the shrimp, right?
Yeah.
And so they, with the whole Trump thing, they wanted to hire only American-born people because the whole HB whatever visa for the workers visa was getting harder to get. It was almost impossible. So they hired and they were gonna pay them $17 an hour. Apparently, none of them lasted more than a day.
At 17, okay. Look, you can get American-born people, but they got to be first generation. You can't get white kids in there. Give me $17 an hour, I'll work there for 5 years.
I might last a week or two. For $17 an hour? Shit.
I know
it's not that much anymore.
It might not sound impressive to anybody that I would be there for 5 years, but I've quit every job I've ever had after a year. So it's impressive that I would stay there for 5 years.
If you give me good health benefits and like good promotional opportunity, I'll do that shit.
It's funny. I've had my current job for about 6 months, and it's the best job I ever had, and I already want to quit. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I knew you weren't gonna last long. You don't like that kind of work.
I'm not an office guy. I can't do it.
He's an office guy now. See, I hate my job, but only because they don't pay me enough.
Okay, look. Do we have to explain these people our history? Because look. We're not.
No, I don't. They don't know. They don't.
No, but just to me, just for me. Look, I'm not gonna tell them like, you know. Look, we're Hispanic, right? Whatever.
I don't think they know that yet.
Whatever. Our dad does construction. He's like a handyman guy. He worked by himself and shit. You know, all that shit. We had to work with him when we were like 13 and stuff until growing.
And I get paid.
But, like, I don't, like, I guess this is subconscious or something. Like, I guess I always eventually thought I was going to have an office job, but I always thought that wasn't, like, what I do. Like, it's not like what we do. We don't do office jobs. You know?
We do not.
So now that I have one, I'm like...
This isn't for you?
Yeah. And it's not a race thing. Because, like, I think the minority in my office is white people, honestly. But
really, that's awesome.
Tampa is, like, not... Tampa is very low white people. Like, honestly, I don't think...
Oh, no, Tampa, I think, is, it's, like, half black, right? It's
yeah,
like
there's a shit ton
Hispanic,
of black people.
a half black or something. I don't know. But, Well, oh god, I was gonna say something. Damn, let me
Tampa's
do a
kind of
proper
like
intro
Atlanta,
first.
actually, at this point.
What,
Tampa might be like the second-rate Atlanta at this point.
Tampa is a Mickey Mouse Miami. It's a bullshit Miami.
No, I think it's more like Atlanta than Miami. Because it's like Tampa's like southern, a little bit.
Really?
A little bit. It feels like a southern metropolitan area.
It depends on where you go in Tampa though, because North Tampa is very, very like, I don't even want to say ghetto. It's like damn near Haitian. It's like third world shit.
Yeah.
Seriously. You go to, what's it called? West Tampa. It's freaking Little Colombia. I love it. That's the best part of Tampa. West Tampa?
Armenia Street or whatever?
Armenia, yeah. That's where all the Colombians are. And then South Tampa, like downtown, it's just a bunch of rich white people who don't want to, like, get in contact with the people from the north.
Yeah.
Tampa sucks. I don't like Tampa. It's a shitty city.
Tampa's a piece of shit.
The Tampa is too small of a city to have the traffic it does.
Tampa, honestly, the traffic that Tampa has, it's like mid-sized traffic. It's not the worst traffic in the world. If you go to Miami, that's one of the worst traffics in the world.
No, but the thing is, Tampa is not big enough. It's not a big enough city to have that ridiculous traffic.
Tampa's one of the biggest cities in Florida.
No, it's not. It's like the third or fourth biggest.
Florida has a pretty big. Florida has a lot of big cities in it, though.
Can I do a proper intro? Because I haven't yet.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Friday show.
You did this already. What do you mean you didn't do this?
I have to explain why there's only two voices.
Okay, whatever.
So this is Danny from famously from Canada Road for Survival, talking to Luisi. Yeah, well, to the 30 people who listen to this. And then that's Luisi.
And even less people who listen to this.
Yeah. And then we have the DM isn't here today. Sammy isn't here today because he's a punk ass bitch who didn't want to do it. I think he was busy. I don't know. I don't really care. So it's just going to be...
When did he tell you that he wasn't going to do it? Because he never told me.
He literally told me like 10 minutes before we started.
That's great.
Yeah, Luis Sammy's a dick. All right.
Okay.
But I do have some topics, or do you want to keep talking about Tampa?
Well, not specifically Tampa. Just like what I was saying before is that like I can't keep a job. I can't have a regular job. I know I can't.
Well, that's why we're doing this. We're trying to get this off the ground so we don't have to work.
And I also sell books on the side.
He's selling books on the side.
I'm starting an Amazon. I already started an Amazon business. I'm selling books on Amazon. Now books. Listen, guys. Look, wait, hold on. Anybody? I highly recommend flipping books on Amazon.
No. Listen, if you guys are interested in buying books and selling them on Amazon, don't do that shit. All right?
Why not?
It's gonna take away work from us. All right?
No, I want anybody to start doing. If you like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do.
You want the competition?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Oh God, I wouldn't do it.
I don't care. I want everybody to do it.
Yet. I already downloaded. I did the whole process. I just got to get started on actually looking for the books. Have you sold?
Did you actually start the business thing though?
Yeah, I signed up. I got the app ready to go.
You can scan and stuff already?
Yeah, I can scan. I can scan books.
Oh shit!
I think I can scan anything really.
Well, you should come down this weekend. We can scan shit. We can go to a Goodwill.
Oh, we're gonna scan the shit out of these books, Lucy. I'm gonna come down that weekend, and we're just gonna be scanning all that shit.
Yeah, I sold 4 books so far.
Really? Yeah, not bad. How many books do you have left?
33, I think.
Damn. So when do you get your check? Do you know?
You get a check every week.
Oh, so what's this week gonna look like?
Well, because low.
Oh God, are you sure this is worth it?
No, it is because I only sold 4 books, and it also is like there's other fees because of like you have to pay for the shipments. You have to ship it to Amazon.
Jesus, they take too much money out of you, man.
No, look, they take a bunch of money off, but the profit margins that you can make on these books, like it'll definitely pay for it.
What's the profit like? Like what's the net profit margin on the books?
Some books it can be like $1, and some books it could be like $30. But like this is the thing.
But do you get all those $30?
That's the net, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like, if
Net
you sell,
profit is like
let's
$30.
say there's a book selling for like on Amazon, the book selling for $15.
All right.
After all the fees that Amazon takes from you, you'd probably end up making like $5.
From a $30 book.
No, from a $15 book.
And you get 3? How much you get?
Danny, look, okay, if you are selling the book for
I'm not good at school, guys.
if you're selling a paperback book for $15 on Amazon,
Yeah.
the Amazon fees would probably be about $10. So you would make $5.
Okay, so if you're doing this, you just got to try to stay above $10.
That's what
every book.
That's what I've been doing. But also, like, you have to buy the book. So like, but this is the thing: you can buy books at Goodwill for like $1.
Yeah.
So let's say you could sell it for like, and you could sell it for like $15, make $5 profit. You're making 5 times more than you put in.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but
that's on the low end.
$10 things.
But that's on the low end of things. You can also find books at like you can sell for like $30, $40, whatever. That's possible.
You know what you could do, Lucy? Because
What?
I know you want to start a bookstore. You know how you've been talking about like doing this until you make enough money to only do that,
Yeah.
and then quit your job?
Yeah.
What if you keep your job, right, and then do this on the side, but all the profit that you make off the books, you save up to open your own bookstore
But that means I would have to keep my job.
until you open the bookstore. I mean, I'm just saying it's an idea.
I don't want to keep my job.
Are you gonna quit tomorrow? What's the game plan? How long do you want to stay
As soon
at
as
your job?
I can make the same amount of money doing this that I can at my job, then I'm quitting my job.
But are you talking about like a couple of years, a couple months, tomorrow?
Literally as soon as possible. If I find out in a week I can do it, I'll quit in that week. Like I'm not waiting
Jesus,
for
Lacey.
anything.
I mean, that's a break. I don't know. I'm
What?
saying like stay there like a couple years, save up the money from the book sales.
Danny, I haven't had a job for a couple years. I've been working since I was 18, and I've been working legitimate jobs since I was 18, and and I haven't kept a job for over a year ever. I've had a new job every year. Some years more, like 2 or 3 jobs.
You stayed a couple years at jobs.
No, I haven't. The most ever was Home Depot when I was 18. That was a year and a half.
Really, I stayed 2 years at that forklift place at the factory. Mm-hmm. Shit, I can't do that shit again. I was looking for a while for other forklift jobs. Jesus, man, I can't do it. Just the idea, I got PTSD from that forklift.
Oh my god.
Seriously.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to sit on a forklift and move things. I'm so sorry.
It wasn't only the forklift. It was being on a forklift for 10 straight hours. It was being in the night shift all by myself. That gets to you. All right, you get cabin fever. All right. And
I would love that, but I'm insane.
I can't do it. It was too dark. I was all by myself. I'm a paranoid dude. I couldn't do it. And then also at the end of the night, they made me jump in the cement mixer to break off the cement from the walls. I had to jump into the machine. If anybody turned on that machine, I would be inside bricks right now.
I think that's a good way to end your life. I want to be a brick.
That's a horrible way to.
I saw a Vice documentary once of Pakistani people making bricks. They were Pakistani slaves making bricks. But I saw them making. I saw that too. I saw them making bricks, and I'm like, shit, that looks great. I want people.
There's something wrong with you.
I want to make a bricklaying company. Just a brick making company.
You have to go to a third world country to do that. You can't do that here. You can't be in your backyard making single bricks one by one.
Can I please be a white colonialist and go to Pakistan with like a safari hat on or whatever, and just be like,
look, giant plot of land.
I'm taming the brown man.
Oh God, you are the brown man.
They don't know.
Danny, you are literally the brownest one. You're the brownest one in the entire family.
That's not even true. Wait. Okay, that might be true, but we're a very light-skinned family, so that doesn't.
I'm just saying,
anything.
you got all the darkness. You got
barely any. I don't.
You look Middle Eastern.
I guess.
I can pass as Italian or some shit. I'm just white enough to be European.
Yeah.
All right. I actually have topics. Can we talk about my topics?
Sure.
All right, I only got like 2 or 3. One is political, and another one's a show I've been watching. Which one do you want to do?
How political is it?
It's not Trump. It's not Trump, but it is like 1 degree away from Trump. I don't have to bring up his name at all.
Is it Kavanaugh?
Yeah, it's Kavanaugh.
What do you? Okay, let's talk about it. What's up?
All right. Well, did you hear the news about today? For anybody who doesn't know what day it is, it's Friday, but we're filming this on we're recording this on Wednesday. So the news came out today. Oh, Jesus! I got a call from my boss. I'm not gonna call you. I'm not working. I'm sorry. You can edit that out, Lucy.
I'm not gonna.
My boss is calling me. It's my day off. I don't want to talk to you on my day off.
You know what I used to do at Home Depot? Like, I used to never answer the phone because they used to call you if they need somebody to, like, go in. I'd never answer the phone, ever.
God,
and, like, literally never answer the phone. And, like, I used to, like, not even show up for work when I was scheduled and not even call them until I'm not going. I just not show up at all.
I would always at least call them.
I just didn't want to. Look, I didn't want to go. So I just, like, I'd wake up and I'd be like, not today. And then I'd just go back to sleep. And then I'd wake up. I'd put my phone on silent and go back to sleep. So then I'd wake up. I had, like, 5 missed calls from Home Depot. And then, and then the next day, I'd be like, oh, I just never got your calls. And it got to the point where they're just like, do we have a wrong number for you or something? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, they did. They asked me that. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I just leave. So they didn't.
How do you ever keep a job?
I don't.
Jesus.
I was look, that was when I was a kid.
You've never been fired either. You've never been fired.
I think the reason why they didn't fire me is because I was one of the best workers there. But I just hated it. I hated that job.
It is so easy to keep a job as long as you don't shit yourself.
Oh my god. Like, I don't get it. Like, these people, well, I get it in retail because their definition of a good worker is somebody who shows up to work. And I barely did that, but I did it enough that they're like, he's a good worker.
I think I'm a great worker then, because I always at least call them, say, hey, I can't go in. I don't even give them the reason, like, hey, I can't do it. Not today. when I was like the last months of my forklift job, I would work Tuesday to Saturday, and I just wouldn't come in Saturdays. I just like, I can't do it for like three Saturdays in a row. It's like, nope, can't do it. And then I told my boss, like, listen, this Saturday I can't come in. And it's like, yo, that's like your third Saturday. It's like, yeah, and I can't come in next Saturday either. I literally told him that. I can't come in next Saturday either. He didn't give a shit. No, the thing is, that job was great because I was the best worker there because everybody there was a criminal. Everybody. We had 2 sex offenders and a murderer. Somebody who just got out of prison for murder. He went in when he was a teenager. He got out at like 55. Jeez. And so I was doing great. They loved me. I literally think I was the only one who wasn't a convicted felon.
That's good. Yeah. Hey, look, there needs to be jobs for felons.
No, that's great. They need jobs. Also, but the shitty part is they didn't pay them well. Like, starting was $10 an hour for a factory job. You were working at a factory for $10 an hour. That's bullshit. You can't do that to people.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk about Kavanaugh?
If you want.
All right. Let's just talk about Kavanaugh because I have a topic about it. So for anybody who hasn't heard the news, today, which is Wednesday, you'll be hearing this on Friday, Kavanaugh had a third accuser. So Bret Kavanaugh...
I didn't know he had a third.
Yeah, today. It came out today. And this one is bad.
Is it?
You don't know about this? It's really bad. Let me give you the backstory of Bret Kavanaugh. So, Supreme Court has 9 members. One of them is retiring. Trump is picked a new member to be elected by the Senate. All right. Democrats don't want him to be elected because we're just a couple months away from the elections. And if we wait, we can hold out to get a better Supreme Court justice, somebody more moderate, because this guy is a crazy conservative. That's the politics behind it. All right. So Trump picked Bret Kavanaugh. It's going through the process. They're flying through the process, right? With suspiciously flying through. Like, they want to push this out. And, like, within the last few days, it comes out that he, what's it called?
Raped the girl.
He got attempted rape. And then it came out that he stuck a dick in somebody's face. This guy.
Okay, the second one was like a little less bad in my eyes, at least, because it's
no. It wasn't less bad because it wasn't attempted rape. It was a dick in the face, which isn't.
I know, but it's like the bitch was like drunk at a college party, and she's like, "He showed me his penis." It's like you're drunk at like a party filled with 18-year-olds. He didn't show the penis.
He stuck it in the girl's face while she was drunk. That you can't do that.
Shit, well, what do you like? From what I read, they were playing like. It was just weird. It was funny to me because, like, I read it on BBC, and they're like, and like BBC writes everything like super straight. They don't put opinions in anything. They're just like all that shit.
They didn't use the word dick. They used penis.
Yeah, but also they were playing like spin the bottle, but with like a dildo, and like
funny.
So they were doing.
Oh yeah, I remember. So it wasn't that he tried to make it out because she was so drunk. And there was a dildo in the air somewhere. So he wanted the girl to think it was a dildo instead of his dick. But then she realized it was a dildo, and she pushed his dick away. Some shit like that.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny because at one point she's just like, "Well, I'm Catholic, so this goes against my faith." Bitch, you're spinning a dildo already.
It wasn't that. It's that from what I heard. It was that she was a very, shy girl who didn't have a boyfriend at that point.
I read it on BBC. There was a quote from her that said, "I was saving till marriage because of my Catholic faith." It wasn't like.
That's another thing. Don't shove your dick in a virgin's face.
Danny, I agree with you, but I just think it's funny that she's like.
Also, I don't think there's such a thing as a Catholic virgin.
What?
Catholics are the biggest whores.
Whatever. What were you saying?
Of both sexes. Both men and women. They're just whores all around. That's a very hoary religion. The Catholic religion. Is that too much? Was that?
I don't even... That's just conjecture. What are you talking about? What do you mean it's a very hoary religion?
I'm just saying, all the stories about Catholic school, all the kids are screwing everybody always.
Danny, that's every school. What are you talking about?
Whatever. That's not even the point. Forget about Catholics. I don't give a shit about Catholics. So, those two came out. They're going to talk to the first one. I believe her name is Christy Ford or something like that. And then, so, that's going through. He says he's not going to, it's all lies and everything. Today, a third woman came out with saying she was raped. She says she was actually raped. And she says that she knew Bret Kavanaugh and his friend something Ford. I forgot his name. Something Ford. It was George Ford?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
And they said they were known as massive alcoholics who would go to parties, drug women, and run trains on women who were intoxicated. So basically, gang rape them. That was the whole thing. The men would put a woman in a room, drug them, and gang rape them. And she was very aware of this, and she was the victim of one of those gang rapes. That's what he's saying.
Sounds like a good Supreme Court judge.
Bret Kavanaugh, the first two, the first one, if you said, yeah, I was drunk, if Bret Kavanaugh came out and was like, listen, I am so sorry, I did do that. I'm so sorry, that was a big mistake, I should have never done that, because it was attempted rape. He was extremely drunk. I think it actually could have been... No, it could have been. I don't know. But it could have been... Something could have been worked out. The second one, the two of them together, it was even worse. This one, you got to go to jail. At this point, we're not even talking about Supreme Court anymore. We're talking about putting you in jail if this is the truth. And this is actually pretty bad because she signed an affidavit. Apparently an affidavit is something so you sign, and if it's found to be not true, you can go to jail.
Oh, so she's like, no, this shit's real, man.
Yeah, and apparently there was 4 affidavits. 1 from her and 3 from witnesses.
Okay,
There's 3 witnesses. This guy cannot. It's over. Like, I don't know how you can. It's gang rape. It's over. You can't do that. You know what I mean?
You know what's weird? I read somewhere, I think this was also on BBC. BBC is my main news source. It's where I read most.
They have a good podcast.
I don't.
News.
I don't like. I really can't listen to read or listen to any news that's like has any opinions on it, like at all. Because it just turns me off. I can't do it.
I can do it. It's fine.
No, but it's just, I don't like it because I don't want to hear your opinion on the news. I just want to know what happened. I really don't want to hear anybody's opinion on it.
BBC is good for that. Also, Al Jazeera, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, it's always the other countries, like RT is good news too, but.
No, RT is messed up. see if they talk anything about Russia.
No, but this is the thing. Like, state-run media, like, they won't talk bad about their own state. I don't give a shit about Russia. I want to know about America.
The best like Al Jazeera then, because Al Jazeera is owned by Qatar, and nobody gives a shit about Qatar.
But guess what? They're not going to say shit about Qatar, are they?
No, they won't say shit about Qatar.
If you watch Al Jazeera, they'll like do local news coverage, and they're like, Qatar, streets are lined with gold. This week we're lining the streets with gold again because everybody's just so wealthy and happy here in Qatar.
There's not a single problem in Qatar. Let's talk about China.
Yeah,
which is fine because I don't give a shit about Qatar. I don't like RT because Russia is doing some messed up shit. I gotta know what's happening in Russia.
Yeah,
I don't need to know what's happening in Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar can, whatever. Was Qatar the country that had the World Cup, or was going
have the World Cup?
And they're just they're just like they don't know how this is possible because it's gonna be like 150 degrees and people are gonna die.
No, it's not only that. They got it saying, don't worry, we're gonna air condition the stadiums. It's gonna be an open field, but
air conditioned.
We figured something out to make it air conditioned at the same time.
Right? What can you share those blueprints? No, but we figured it out.
No, they said that they got it. They got the World Cup for 2022, and they said, yeah, that was a lie. We can't do that. So we're just gonna have normal stadiums. It's gonna be 150 degrees, and everybody's gonna die.
That's great.
So good luck with that. But also, they had like slave labor making the stadiums.
Yeah, like
they were shipping in Indians.
I want to see Al Jazeera's coverage of this news.
I don't know. I don't know what they said about Qatar.
The wonderful leader of Qatar makes great plans for air-conditioned stadiums, but the white man doesn't believe us.
It would be more like happy Indians making the stadium 20 hours a week voluntarily.
Happy Indians choose to work for free.
Happy Indians so grateful to live in Qatar, they're doing the work for free. Jeez, I don't give a shit though. It's a tiny ass country. I mean, don't have slaves. Maybe pay them and have them work only 8 hours a day. But I mean, as far as the news go, there are more important countries in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? The one I really hate is Telesur. You know that one?
Isn't that the Spanish South America? Was that Venezuela?
It's owned by Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Bolivia.
So is this the axis of evil of South America? What is this?
It's just the axis of evil running a news station. Seriously. And they have one Telesur English, right?
Yeah.
And and so I saw it. It's like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know they had an English one. It's on YouTube and everything. And so there was this bitch who was doing news thing about Venezuela. It's like, this is gonna be interesting. She was basically half an hour saying everything's a lie. Everything's doing great. There's some economic problems, but it's the Yankees' fault. That was the whole thing. It was the biggest load of shit I ever saw in my life. I hate all those communist bitches. That was actually one of I did a tweet today about I found out two things about in Twitter today that blew my mind. What? One was about the first one. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that there's no center to the universe. Did you know that?
Yeah.
How is that? What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, I think I know what he's talking about.
There has to be a center to the universe.
There's no center that we're rotating around or anything.
No,
like,
but there has to be like a medium point, unless
there's a point that we blew from the Big Bang, so it expands from that point. So that would be the center. But what's he talking about?
That's what I want to know, because he did some clever thing. He said, "There's no center to the universe, so you can't be it." I don't know. It was something clever like that, and I said, and so I tweeted back, "What are you talking about? Where's the center? Explain this to me."
Oh wait, no, I remember. I know what he's talking about now.
What is he talking about?
Because okay, so think of the universe as a balloon, right?
Okay.
And you're the surface of the balloon.
All right.
Okay, so when the balloon expands, let's say you're on any point that you go to on the surface of the balloon, that becomes the center of it. Because it expands from the center. So
Okay.
like if you go to one point on the balloon and start expanding it, it expands at an equal rate as the other point of the balloon.
So where is it expanding from? Whatever it's expanding from is the center.
But you can't tell what it's expanding from.
Is the center constantly moving?
As far as your perception is moving as to what the center is.
What kind of bullshit is that, Lucy?
Danny, once you get into like astrophysics and dark matter and quantum physics and shit like that, which is what this would fall under, it's borderline philosophy. So, you know, what are you gonna do?
I don't have the mental capacity for that. There's a set. I don't care. I hope Neil deGrasse Tyson gets back to me. But the second one was apparently there's a Miami DSA. Do you know that?
Miami DSA? What is that?
There's a chapter.
Oh, Democratic Socialists. Yeah.
Of America in Miami.
Makes sense.
And so I tweeted at them and I told them, I'm gonna pray for you because you gotta be brave to be a socialist in Miami. I'm serious. I said, I'm going to pray for you. You got to be brave to be a socialist in Miami. # stay safe. Because one of them are going to die. You can't be a communist in Miami.
They should
nobody. You should hide that. You shouldn't.
Is there a chapter in Miami of the Fidel Did Nothing Wrong Association?
You know, there's a few Cubans. There's a couple Cubans in Miami who are pro-Castro.
It's like, why'd you leave then? Tell me that.
That's what everybody says to them. I don't know how they're still alive, really. I don't know. Seriously. Because it's just a million Cubans who got screwed over by Castro, and you're the one Castroist person there. You're going to die. It's like going to Israel and saying, no, the Holocaust didn't happen. You're going to get shot. And nobody's going to be mad at the Jews for doing it.
Yo, let's get into.
I don't think I can be a socialist. I'm a progressive dude, but I can't call myself a socialist. You know what I mean?
You're barely progressive.
I'm very progressive. I'm full Bernie Sanders.
I know you are.
See, but I think I'll settle for social democrat. You know, all I want is a good minimum wage, Medicare for all, and free college. Can we do that?
That's all I want.
And unions, and also don't separate kids from their parents, and also kill Trump.
Don't kill
him. You don't
him.
have to. Just leave him out of office. Kick him out.
Just don't vote him in next time, and also impeach him. Arrest him at some point.
Jesus, the whole world is burning.
Okay, next topic.
I wanted to talk more about Bret Kavanaugh, but we don't have to.
I'm good.
Next topic is I've been watching some shit on Netflix. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
All right, Hulu. Hulu. It was Hulu.
Then no.
Netflix, yes, but Hulu, no.
What is it?
Which one is better, Hulu or Netflix?
Hulu is better for TV shows. Netflix is really only good for original series. They don't really have anything good like as in like other people's shit anymore. Like they don't really have a good selection of movies. They don't have a good selection of shows. Like I don't even think they have Doctor Who anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. They put something in for like a couple months and then they take it right out.
Yeah, weird. And even Hulu's the best for TV. They even have an amazing anime selection, which is weird to me. Like they got Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. They got all the shit, and I'm like, shit.
I don't give a shit about anime, so I don't think that's for me. You know. But I like Netflix more. They just got better stuff. Like as a quality wise, their stuff.
They
is
make
better.
they make better shows, but
even the movies, they have good movies on there. They have The Departed.
That's
they? Good.
They have some.
They
good
do. The problem is, like, they have good movies, and they'll take them right out. Keep the movies there.
That's the
forever.
problem.
So I've been watching something on Hulu. It's a show called This Is Us. Have you heard of it?
Only a little bit.
This Is Us is I didn't want to watch it for a long time because the commercials made it look like just emotion porn. It's just like, watch this if you want to cry for an hour. Watch this if you want to feel good about being fat or being a black man in a white world or being a family and you just don't know how to get through it.
I got to talk about body shaming at some point, so remind me of that.
No, I know for a fact you're going to get into it in this show.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know what this show... all I know is that Alex just told me that it's a sad show. But...
the show... It's just emotion porn. It's like they want to make you feel so many feels, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like that's what the commercial makes it look like. It's called This Is Us. What does that sound like to you? It sounds like you're going to cry. That's what the show should have been called. You're going to cry. Right?
Okay.
So I watched the show and I think they marketed this wrong. Right? They made it seem like emotion porn, and it is. But it is a well-written show.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, it's actually very good. Like, I just don't buy any of the bullshit they're trying to get out.
What bullshit are they trying to get out?
Like, actually, you know what? Even the fat shaming thing, I think they handle it really well because it's not a woman. It's a woman who's extremely overweight on the show, right?
Yeah.
And what I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was going to be, hey, it's okay to be fat. Which is not. It's very bad for you. Try not to be as fat because it's bad for your health. And I thought they were trying to like, hey, it's okay if you're fat, you shouldn't get bullied. But it's actually, no, it's like, this girl is fat, and it's talking about how hard it is to try to be skinny. And she's on a diet, she's suffering, she's, doing the working. So they did a good job with that. It's funny, first of all. It's actually really funny.
Well, how hard is she trying? Because she wouldn't be fat if she did all that.
There's some people who just can't lose weight, Lucy.
Well, that's called natural selection. And it looks like
Jesus.
She
what
should
the
be
hell
dead.
is wrong with you? Lucy, don't be a dick, man. It's just relax, okay? Can you relax? Jesus, Lucy, what the hell's wrong with you?
What? I'm just saying, look, natural selection isn't a thing anymore, right? Because we have so much shit to keep you alive, it just doesn't even exist. But I'm saying there are cases of people who, by any normal circumstances, should be dead. Like, they shouldn't be alive. Just naturally. Like, they'd be dead, like, as soon as they were born.
Lucy, what the hell is wrong with you, man?
What?
Why are you turning to Ayn Rand?
Hey, I'm not advocating killing them or putting them in death camps or anything. I'm just saying...
I don't think Ayn Rand was either.
I'm not saying put them down or anything either,
All right, listen, Lucy. Some people have a hard time getting skinny. And
I doubt it.
And what do you mean you doubt it, Lucy? It's a fact.
You're just not trying hard enough.
Oh God, I'm gonna end the show.
No, what do you mean? Why are you having a hard time being skinny? Tell me. Not you specifically, but people.
Some people have different levels of metabolism. Some people suffer through actual addiction with food. Some people don't have the money to actually buy healthy food options. There's so many things, Lucy.
Okay, that money option is... Some people live in
food deserts. You know what a food desert is?
Yeah, they don't have access to healthy food, quote unquote, but this shit is retarded to me.
Quote unquote.
This shit is retarded to me on so many levels. The food desert thing is accurate because, you're not going to have a Whole Foods or something on your block, but you're going to have a supermarket that has vegetables. So eat them.
What do you live in like the middle of Queens where there's only bodegas?
They have vegetables in them.
Not all of them. A lot of them don't. A lot of them sell cigarettes and Gatorade.
There's no supermarket anywhere.
Well, I think a food desert counts as like no good options within a couple miles. And some people live in the middle of freaking nowhere where the nearest place is like a convenience store that doesn't sell anything. So Lucy, it's a thing. It's a real thing. It's some people. It's hard for some people to get skinny. That's not the issue. I thought this.
That's the issue with me.
What's the issue with you?
That what your statement? Because literally,
God,
losing weight is eating less food. You can do that. Anybody can do that.
How about people who have addiction?
Eat less. Work on it and eat less.
No, listen. I agree with you. They should work on it, but I'm also saying
addiction is a form of mental illness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Work on it.
Oh my God.
And I'm not saying, oh, your mental illness isn't real or anything. Yeah, it's real. You know, it's a real thing and it's hard. But work on it. You know, it's your thing. Don't blame your mental illness for why you're thinking. You can conquer anything, you know?
That's so inspiring, Lucy.
This is saying, look, the Buddhism...
talk to addicted kids.
I
will.
will.
Go to rehab centers.
Look, because this shit is bullshit. Buddhism teaches you that life is...
Who the hell is talking about Buddhism?
This is my point here. Look, this is what Buddhism teaches you. Life is suffering, right? All life is suffering, and the point is...
I'm suffering talking to you right now.
And that's what life is. Thank you.
Oh my
so look, life is suffering,
oh
and the point of life is reducing suffering. Just to take it to the barest, simplest terms here, that's what it is. Everybody's trying to suffer less, right?
So are you saying that we should steer into that or steer away from trying to suffer less?
Because this is the thing, enlightenment is steering into it. Because when people try to steer away from it, you might... steer
away from the suffering, so we should steer into the suffering.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. There's a lot of things in life that are counterintuitive. But this is the thing. Suffering comes from desire, comes from cravings. So you want something, when you do it, you know, you suffer for it. Like, if you want food, if you eat too much, it's gluttony. You suffer for it. The 7 deadly sins are cravings.
Don't mix religions, all right?
No.
You want to talk about
all
Jesus,
religions are one. All religions are one and the same. God is the universe. God is everybody. Calm down here. Look.
What the hell? No, Lacey, I don't even know where to go with this. All right,
let me finish my point.
I'm a good Christian. I don't want to talk about.
Isn't Jesus in your heart?
Yeah.
So isn't he in every Christian's heart?
Yeah.
So aren't we all God then? We all have a little bit of God inside of us.
Lucy, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Is that not true?
No, I'm a child of God. I'm not God.
You're not God yourself, but you have him inside of you, and so is everybody else. That's Christian in your faith.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Oh, okay. God. Can we not talk about Buddha, though?
Buddha isn't a god or anything. It's a person who said things and wrote it.
Okay, we'll talk about a prophet from the Bible.
I'm not studying the Bible right now, am I? Look.
Why are you studying? Oh, God. You want to talk about Santeria for a while?
I could.
But don't.
Okay, so what I was saying is that what Buddhism... from what I've read in the Buddhism book I've been reading, is that the answer is inside yourself. You're not going to find the answer anywhere else. It's inside yourself. You have to steer into the pain, steer into the suffering, you know, in order to be enlightened and fix yourself. So
you're basically saying that Buddha said that if you want to cure your suffering, you have to look within yourself.
That's the answer to everything, yeah.
That is the most bullshit
No,
answer.
it's not. No, it's not.
That is the oldest thing. I could get that from Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let me see.
Okay, does anybody listen to that?
I think so. Listen, but you gotta admit, Lucy, some people have a
knowing yourself.
All I'm saying is that some people have a harder time than others to get skinny. All right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that when you have a harder time, it's because of you, yourself. It's not because of anything else. And you need to know yourself in order to defeat yourself.
So you have to have more control over yourself. You have to have a stronger
discipline,
will.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very hard thing. Some discipline is harder than it sounds. Lucy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But learn it and then do it. That's what I'm saying.
Do you have any better advice than just say be
no,
better?
Because life is hard. So there's no advice to say.
The only thing you're saying is the only thing you're saying is, listen, we all have struggles in our life. the way to fix it is to look within yourself and be stronger. So do it. Be stronger.
Because this is the thing. You have to accept that your life is going to be hard because life is suffering, right?
Yeah.
So just accept it. And don't think life is going to be easier at any point. That what's happening right now is hard because that's just what life is. It's not... It could be easier, it could be hard, it doesn't matter, but it's always going to be suffering because that's life. So just do it, get through it, live a healthier life.
I guess so. I mean, there's just different levels of suffering, too, because some people don't suffer what other people suffer. You know what I mean?
I know. But I just think this whole bullshit thing is a lot of, like, the fat shaming thing or whatever. It's like, oh, it's hard for some people to lose weight. Yeah, sure, whatever. But it's hard for anybody to lose weight. It's not easy. It's not easy for people to lose weight. It's just that other people, like when you see ripped people or whatever doing that shit, that are like super buff and shit, you know, whatever. That's not easy for them to do. It's just that they enjoy doing it. It's something they really want to do. Is that? So,
also, I think you misconstrue something because there are people who like you. I think you're angry at people who like say don't fat shame. Yeah. Am I right?
Probably.
But there's a thing. There's different forms. Like people group in two different things in fat shaming that aren't similar at all. If I'm talking to a loved one and who's overweight and I say, yo, you got to lose some weight because this is ridiculous. All right, you're going to kill yourself. That's not fat shaming. But if I go to some bitch I don't know and I say, hey, you're a fat bitch. I mean, you're ugly. I'm never going to touch you. I want to touch you with a fat pull. There's a big difference.
No, right? I know that's a big difference.
So there's bullying and there's this me trying to help you.
Yeah, but that's the difference.
You know what I mean?
You're right. I mean, you're right in everything you said, but that's just bullying. So why? So yeah.
Fat shaming is bullying. All right.
Don't be a dick.
Stop the bullying.
So just say don't be a dick to people. Like, why are you doing that? That's
because
stupid.
It's a specific form of dickishness. I get what you're saying. We should encourage people not to be as fat because they're gonna die. All right, but there are people who attack overweight people, right? They attack them because they're bullies, they're bad people, they're shitty people, and we gotta try to stop that. But we should also encourage people not to be overweight. Because, you know, they're going to die. There's two different things that got pushed together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which is, I guess, is bad on two fronts because anybody who's trying to help an overweight person and say, yo, you got to lay off the cake, says, hey, don't fat shame me. It's like, I'm trying to help you. And then there are people who say, yo, you're a fat bitch. Go kill yourself. See, that's not good. You can't do that either. Okay. You know what I mean? But listen, let's get back to the show.
This is the show.
No, the This Is Us show.
Oh, I don't care.
It's actually a really good show.
I doubt
That's the crazy. I really thought it was going to be an hour of bullshit every week, and it's not. I'm up to the 5th episode of the first season. It's very well written. It's funny. What's it called? The whole that after school special feel isn't overbearing. Like, there's a lot of corny parts to it, but it's not too much that it's like it gets you out of the show. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's actually a surprisingly good show. I think the problem with the show is that they marketed it horribly wrong. I thought it was going to be like a novella. Like, everybody was overacting. The actors are very good actors, too.
You know what a terrible show like that is?
What?
13 Reasons Why.
Really? Elia saw it. My wife saw that, and she loves it.
Alex watched it and she liked it too. But I saw like the first 3 or 4 episodes, something like that. And I mean, it's a piece of shit. Like, it's just bad acting, bad writing, just bad show in general, right? But and that's
a Netflix original.
Yeah, they can make bad shows.
They usually make good shit.
Mm-hmm. But what? Actually, no, they don't even. Like, what Netflix does is they'll make 1 million things, and then some of it'll be good and popular, and then they'll just really hype up those things. But they'll make 1 million bad things.
Well, it's just fine because you can watch bad stuff too. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, but Netflix's biggest problem is they spend way too much money on things they don't have to spend money on. Yeah. They'll spend $100 million on a show that I can make for $12. It's ridiculous. Seriously, there was this show called what was it called?
The Get Down.
The Get Down. Thank you. That was $12 million an episode. All right, and it was a movie about some kids in Queens, no, in the Bronx, learning how to rap. All right, there was no explosions, there was no gunfire, there was no CGI. It was just some kids with disco dress because it's the 70s learning how to rap. I could have made that for like $50 a day. I'm serious. Okay, how the hell do you waste $12 million? Freaking, what's it called? The Walking Dead uses $11 million an episode. You know why? Because they have 1,000 actors completely dressed up to look like zombies every day.
Wasn't Jaden? Wasn't Jaden Smith in that show? The Get Down.
Yeah, he was.
That's why it cost so much.
Jaden Smith is not worth anything, man.
He's Will Smith's son.
Give him like $10,000 an episode.
No, Danny,
that's what he's worth.
He's not worth anything, but I'm saying he's Will Smith's son, so he has Will Smith and Will Smith's team backing him to get him the most amount of money possible.
So you think that like Will Smith's son got like $11 million, and the other million was for
and 10 million went to Will Smith.
Jesus.
If he's smart.
I don't think that's what happened.
I do.
But I'm just saying, like, just spend your money better, Netflix, man.
But look, listen, I watched 13 Reasons Why, and I think I think I'm weird because my favorite character on the show was a guidance counselor, and that was barely in the show, and he was my favorite character because he just seemed like he was just like, what do you want me to do about this? Because the point of the show is that a girl kills herself, and it's like the 13 reasons why she killed herself. But so like the show is like in the present, then there's also flashbacks.
Okay.
But like in the present, like there's a scene where the guidance counselor takes the parents to the girl's locker after she killed herself, and to get just for them to get her stuff from her locker.
Yeah.
But like he opens the locker, and then like the locker's basically like it has some books in it, but like there's no stickers or anything in it because the other kid's stuff has stickers and stuff in it. And but like the mom's just like, why didn't she have stickers in her locker? And then the guidance counselor's like, look, I don't know, I just work here. Like that's what.
Why does it matter if she has stickers on her locker?
Look, she's emotional because her daughter killed herself. But I just like the look that the guy gave. I was like, look, I love this guy. He just works there.
Did they want him to be the bad guy?
I think he kind of eventually became a bad guy of some type, but like not even. I think he just worked for the school. But like,
because I mean, if that's me, it's like I don't know why that bitch doesn't have freaking stickers. Why don't you give her stickers? Give her stickers for the thing. See, most of this bullying thing is on the parents. It's like 50-50. Because okay, they have a bad experience at school, but if you're not helping them out when they're at home, then they just have a doubly shitty life. The parents have a responsibility as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, our dad, like, at least once a week, my dad would just come up to us and is like, how are you doing at school? Like, are you having problems in the bus? Because I'll drive you to school if you want. It's like, dude, I'm fine. Like, because I was a big-ass kid. Nobody's going to mess with me. But, like, our dad actually cared about us,
I don't remember that, but I guess that happened.
What are you talking? You actually don't remember that?
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I have a bad memory, so I don't remember anything.
See, so a big part of it is the parents. The parents actually have to be aware of what's going on, and I say, hey, you gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah, I know. Shocking. You should have good parents.
I'm just saying, it's not all like at one point, like just homeschool the kid.
Well, don't homeschool your kid.
I mean, that's an option.
Don't do it.
Why not?
Because you don't want your kid to be retarded.
What the hell are you talking about, Lucy? Oh God.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening.
Enough. Stop. Lucy, you don't finish the show. I finish the show. All right?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I had other things to talk about, but I'm going to finish the show. I don't think this was a good episode, to tell you the truth, Lucy.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was. We got some good topics in. All right. Well, next time we'll have more people involved. I want Alex to get on the show. I want to hear her opinions.
I do, too. That would be interesting.
I want to get, like, a conservative. Like, or at least a moderate to like be on the show permanently, because it's better when we have differing opinions, Well,
I'm not conservative at all, but I have
you can
different.
play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I mean, but I just have different opinions than you, so that seems to work a little bit.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like you have differing opinions on like 10% of topics. Like we agree on 90% of the issues. I want somebody who's like just my polar opposite, so we can have a discussion. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And that we scream at each other and we yell at each other and we have like a back and forth that's passionate, but that he doesn't cry like a bitch saying that I'm not giving him his free speech. You know, me challenging him is a violation of his free speech because he's a bitch ass pussy. Because you know all these conservatives are pussies.
Yeah, everybody's a pussy. Liberals do the same shit.
I'm not a pussy.
Not you specifically, but I'm saying, and also you're a pussy too. Calm down. What?
You know who I hate?
Who?
Real quick to end the show. A while ago, Bill Maher.
Yeah, Bill Maher's. I don't like Bill Maher. I like his show though.
Yeah. He had the guy from Rage Against the Machine, the bassist. What's his name?
I don't know who the bassist is, but
he was the guy who went to Audioslave afterwards.
I mean, Tom Morello did, but he's a guitarist.
Tom Morello. There you go.
He's a guitarist.
Who's the bassist?
Some other guy.
Oh, the bassist was the white guy. That's my bad. Yeah, it's the guitarist. Tom Morello was on the show, right? And so he put up this picture of a white kid in full Nazi uniform on the bus, right? And apparently he got punched in the face when he got off the bus for wearing a Nazi uniform, right?
Tom Morello did?
No, he was on the show. Bill Maher's talking about the kid. He's showing a picture.
Oh, a kid did that.
Yeah, a kid. There was a picture on the screen of a kid in full Nazi uniform on a bus.
Yeah.
All right. When the story goes, that kid in the Nazi uniform got punched in the face.
Okay.
Because he was a Nazi, right?
Yeah.
And then Bill Maher was making the argument that it's his right to wear that uniform, right?
Yeah.
And he says, like, what kind of a world do we live in that this kid can't express his free speech? You know, Bill Maher being a little pussy ass bitch, right?
Okay.
Listen,
Danny.
This is what I want.
Listen,
I'm not gonna make what.
He's right.
What? Okay, he's right. And his free speech wasn't violated.
He got punched in the face.
That's not a violation of his free speech.
Yeah, but it's a violation of his right to not be punched in the face.
Yes, that is correct. He shouldn't have gotten punched in the face. But
did he instigate it? Yes, he did, but that doesn't mean it's not illegal.
No, I'm just saying we have to understand what free speech is, okay? You have a right to say whatever you want in this country not be
but you also don't have the right to punch somebody in the face.
Can I finish my statement? Please, Lucy, seriously, let me finish my statement. You have every right in this country to say whatever you want and not be punished by the government, all right? You do not have a right to control other people's emotions, all right? If you're going to go in a Nazi uniform, you're going to get punched in the face. Don't act surprised when you get punched in the face. You can't just go out to the middle of Atlanta wearing a KKK uniform and expect everything to be okay. You know what I mean? It's like,
Danny, listen to me.
If I can't go out, I can't listen. No, Lucy, I can't go to somebody's house and say, "Hey, your mom's a bitch," and just keep on saying, "Your mom's a bitch, your mom's a bitch, your mom's a whore. I screwed her last week," and not expect to get punched in the face. You know what used to happen in this country? People would say crazy shit, get punched in the face, and say, "What did you think was gonna happen?"
Danny?
So to that kid who wore a Nazi uniform and got punched in the face, if I would say, what did you expect? You expect to just go la-di-da wearing a Nazi uniform, an extremely racist uniform, a uniform that killed 6 million Jews, 5 million others, caused the largest war in modern history.
Danny?
A uniform that means black oppression, minority, Jewish oppression.
Do you want to end the show now? This is stupid. Look, listen to me.
What? Go.
You're not wrong, but in a perfect world in America by the Constitution, he would be able to walk down the street in a Nazi uniform and have people scream at him, people yell at him, people disagree with what he's doing loudly in a public forum, but he wouldn't be attacked. He wouldn't be punched in the face.
My problem with Bill Maher is that he makes it seem like we lost something in this country. He makes it seem like there used to be a time where you could do whatever you want and have no consequences. That's something that never existed in this country. There was no point in this country where somebody could wear a Nazi uniform and not before. You know what? Before, he wouldn't have been punched in the face. He would have gotten shot. All right. If it was 1950s, 1960s, you couldn't do that shit.
Yeah,
you know
but I don't want it to be the 1950s or 60s.
This idea,
I want to live in current America. I don't want to live in 50s
I know. I'm saying
America.
that Nazi is lucky as hell. All right.
He is lucky to live in America, a country where you can dress as a Nazi and not get killed. That is good. That's a good thing. You should be able to do that.
I'm just saying, like, listen, everything that happened, because I think the guy who got punched in the face got charges pressed on him. Okay? But that's not a violation of his free speech. He got attacked. That's assault. But
it's not a violation of his free speech, but I'm saying people shouldn't be assaulted.
To the stupid-ass conservative bitches, we're not losing our free speech. Okay? Nobody's attacking your free speech. You got punched in the face because you're a racist. Okay? You shouldn't have gotten punched in the face, quote unquote, shouldn't. But you're not in a dictatorship, okay? You just say stupid things and there's consequences to saying stupid things.
Well, the actual argument for the free speech, and I don't 100% agree with this, but I see where the point is that, like, places like on the internet, like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, that are basically public forums at this point because everybody in the world has them, like, they are being censored by their creators, like by the people who own the companies. They're like, hold on. Let me finish my point. They're like banning people and stuff and doing shit like that, which is their right because it's a private company and you can do whatever you want. Like but the thing is, like, they're so ubiquitous now. It's basically a public forum. It's like going to the park and talking to people. So the thing is, like, there's an argument to be made that at what point are things like Twitter and Facebook just public forums and should be moderated by the government and not by private companies, and at what point are this a free
these
speech
conservatives
issue?
are communists. We should nationalize Facebook and Twitter because these right-wing fascists are actually left-wing communists. They want us to nationalize
Danny,
Facebook
I'm
and
not
Twitter.
talking about this is a legit issue. What do you think about the actual issue?
This isn't
not about what
Here's the thing, because you do have Twitter and you do have Facebook, but you also have Reddit, you have 4chan, you have a million other things. Okay,
but they're not but they're not as big as Twitter and Facebook.
But Facebook.
So let's look at this. You have phone lines, right?
Yeah,
and that's ubiquitous in America. There's so many phone lines.
That's a utility. Yeah,
it became a utility because it wasn't always a public utility. You know.
Okay, like so you think we should make Facebook and Twitter a utility?
I'm saying there's an argument to be made that Facebook and Twitter, at what point are they just a public utility? Because you're right, because this is the thing. There's also Reddit, 4chan, and all that shit. But that's not as big. And you could say, like, oh yeah, there's the phone lines, but there's also ham radio. Why don't you just use that? It's like, well, yeah, you could use that if you want.
I don't think that's the same thing because ham radio is a completely different system. Facebook and 4chan are basically the same thing.
They don't reach as many people.
One is bigger than the other.
Yeah,
you can make 4chan bigger just by going to 4chan.
But they don't reach as many people. That's what I'm saying.
They don't reach as many people, but they easily could. There's 4chan, Facebook isn't stopping 4chan from doing anything.
Well, it has all the business.
It does have all the business because we decided to use Facebook, but
it's also more user friendly than something like 4chan is, which is basically
nothing is stopping 4chan from being bigger. Facebook isn't physically doing anything to stop 4chan from being the biggest thing out there.
But I'm saying, look, you see how that could be a valid argument that...
No. Listen, I actually understand where you're getting at. If you're making the argument that there's an argument out there that Facebook and Twitter should be run like utilities, there's only two problems. That one, it's not. I understand there's an argument, but right now it's not. So they have every right in the world to black Alex Jones, to black all these hate groups that are out there.
So this is the thing.
The second issue is even more important, I think. Even if, let's say in the future, if it does turn into a utility, Alex Jones, all these hate groups out there were inciting violence. Inciting violence is not protected under the Constitution. You right-wing bitches. Okay, you can't incite people to attack the Sandy Hook parents. You can't.
Is that what Alex Jones did?
Yes.
Because he said that they were false actors or whatever. Did he say you should go kill them or do whatever?
I think he did, actually.
Okay, you think he did,
he
but
also,
you don't
he
know.
was also saying that people should stand up and get their guns ready and go, and the war is imminent, shit like that. He was inciting violence, Luisi.
Is that inciting violence? You have to be very clear with when you're saying things are illegal and people should be
That's inciting violence, okay?
Are you 100% sure that's inciting violence?
I'm not a judge. I can't be a judge to that.
But I'm pretty. That. I'm saying is that when
if you want to use my personal opinion, yes. If you want me for what my opinion is worth, yes, that's inciting violence. Okay. It's very obviously inciting violence because the people who are attacking the Sandy Hook victim parents are listeners of Alex Jones. That's a fact.
But Danny, look, can I tell you something? Like,
not only that, the Pizzagate thing, the guy who went into a pizza shop.
Yeah, it's because he listened to conspiracy shit from Alex Jones and stuff.
Because he listened to Alex Jones. It's not. Let's say I'm the owner of Facebook. This guy is doing crazy shit. What he's doing is causing consequences in the outside world.
Okay, so he should be arrested. And he should be arrested, and Alex Jones is in court. So there you go. But I'm saying,
is he in court for the Sandy Hook thing?
He's being sued, I think, by the Sandy Hook parents.
Oh, he should definitely be sued.
But look, listen to me.
But also, Alex Jones being on YouTube isn't protected by the government. He doesn't have.
Okay, but
the government doesn't have a responsibility for Alex Jones being on YouTube.
Danny, can I tell you something?
Yeah,
please.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna wrap up the show after.
This is a back and forth.
I know.
No, it's not. This is gonna go on for 2 hours. Go.
But listen to me. Look, I agree with you. When you say that these people that say these are free speech issues and shit like that have no leg to stand on, because it's not. Because they're not being arrested. They're not being stopped by the government for what they're saying.
Exactly.
I 100% agree with you. But the thing is that these people feel like it's a freedom of speech issue because they're saying...
It's not, though.
But because they're saying things, because they're saying shit on Twitter and Facebook and internet forums and things like that, and they're being censored by Twitter or whatever, they're doing all this stuff.
Twitter.
Yeah, but look,
the government.
Listen to me. Okay?
I'm listening.
So the thing is, like, there's an argument to be made that these things are public utilities, or it should be. Okay? And I think that's
there's an argument to be made that it should be, but as we are right now,
I know it's not. And I'm not talking about right now, because I don't give a shit about right now. I'm saying because right now they're not being arrested. They're just talking, and I don't care that they're talking. They can be little bitches and talk whatever they want. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. But the thing is, like, they may be little bitches and saying this shit, but they have a legitimate concern that they're not voicing in the right way. Is that at a certain point, Twitter and Facebook, I think, should be viewed as public utilities. And if we have enough people who feel this way, that they're thinking they're being censored and stuff, and they're thinking that they're having their freedom of speech taken away because of shit, then I think Twitter and Facebook should definitely be deemed public utilities and be regulated by the government and not by public corporations. Private corporations.
Listen, I understand that point completely. Like, if you want to make the argument that Facebook, Twitter, and all these giant internet sources should be treated like public utilities, that I'm actually on board with that. That's completely fine. But these people aren't the voice for that because they're not being oppressed by the government. YouTube is following their own rules, saying, hey, you guys are causing a lot of problems and we don't want any part of that, since I can't go into somebody's house and scream at them. That they'll kick me out, and them kicking me out is not a violation of my free speech. Right? Am I right on that?
Yeah, but YouTube isn't your house.
YouTube is a private platform. It's a private property.
No, I know, but Danny, we're not disagreeing on that. That's 100% point.
Listen,
people who say anything otherwise have no leg to stand on because they're just wrong.
That's my point. These right-wing fascist bitches are wrong.
But I don't care about them. I don't care about these people, Danny. I don't care that they're wrong. I know they're wrong.
They're crying.
Why
people are listening to them.
I don't care about anybody.
They're little pussies that are crying all the time.
Danny, I don't care about those people. I don't want to hear anything about those people because they don't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters...
Don't matter, but they're being listened to, Luisi. That's
Danny, I don't care about the people who listen to them. I don't care.
But you should care. It's a
problem.
No,
I shouldn't. No, it's not.
All right. All right.
Because it's just people who have a bigger voice now because we have platforms that make you hear them. But they've always been there. It doesn't matter. But look,
okay, listen.
the actual issue here is that something that has to be addressed is that if Twitter and Facebook should be public utilities. And that's something that needs to be addressed. The internet in general, net neutrality needs to be passed 100%. And all this shit.
It needs to come back. That's what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Okay, last point.
No,
I agree.
That was the last point.
No, just to close it out, Lucy. To close it out, relax. I completely agree with you. Facebook and Twitter. At least we have to start the conversation that Facebook and Twitter should be, and YouTube also should be looked at. Maybe not YouTube. I don't know about YouTube, but Facebook and Twitter definitely should be looked at more as public utilities. All right, because they have a pseudo monopoly. Not really, but I guess you can call it a monopoly.
Danny, they have 100% of monopoly.
No, because a monopoly is when you're physically stopping other people from competing against you. I don't think Facebook...
Vine got bought and shut down immediately.
Find out what?
Vine.
Oh,
Danny.
Vine shut down because it wasn't making any money.
Danny, look, how many companies have been bought by Google?
No, yeah, Google has a monopoly.
How many companies have been bought by Facebook? How many companies?
Maybe you don't have to make them public utilities. Maybe we just have to break them up because Google owns way too much.
Google owns YouTube.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Google has too much control over everything.
Google is the Disney of the internet.
Oh, God. This needs to be broken up as well.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen, the point, I understand. We agree on that point. The only point I'm making is that these people who are crying about their First Amendment rights, first of all, they're wrong. Their rights aren't being violated. They don't understand the Constitution. And two, I'm saying they are dangerous because now the left is starting to agree with the right, saying that their free speech is being violated because private platforms don't want to give them a platform on their private property.
I don't think anybody's saying that.
I listen to left wing things, Lucy. They're starting to agree, and it's dangerous.
Who's saying
Jimmy Dore?
That?
Jimmy Dore.
I don't think
Bill Maher is supposedly on the left, and he's agreeing with these right wing assholes.
Well, Danny, that's because these people agree with free speech, and I don't think Alex Jones should have been kicked off all these things.
I think he definitely should have.
No, I don't think he should have.
Lucy, he was literally inciting violence. You can't say
you have to say what the definition of inciting violence was.
The words you're saying, you're encouraging people to commit acts of violence with your words.
But is it directly encouraging people to do these things?
I mean, it was pretty direct.
I don't think it was.
Have you listened to Alex Jones lately?
Not lately.
You can't, because he got kicked off of YouTube. Ha ha. Bitch ass Alex Jones.
I don't like people getting kicked off. I want everybody to have free speech, even if I hate them.
You can't incite violence, though.
Okay. Was
and
he?
Yes, he was!
Yeah, I need a direct quote of him inciting violence.
Do you want me to go through Alex Jones's crap and find it?
No. I just want to have my opinion and then nobody say anything bad to me.
The point of the episode is don't be a Nazi because you might get punched in the face. And nobody's going to cry for you. Okay?
Okay.
Well, Bill Maher might cry for you because he's an idiot. But that's about it.
I mean, look, Danny, people shouldn't have their free speech taken away.
But Nazis should be punched in the face. Can we agree on that?
Well, not in America.
Maybe in America. I mean...
You can have your opinion.
You can have your opinion, but...
They shouldn't be voted into office.
Don't be expected not to get punched in the face. Sure. That's what I'm saying. You can't.
But this is the thing. There are always little bitches. Like, if he got punched in the face, he's gonna cry to the police, and the police are gonna have to like press charges on the thing and all that stuff. But this is the thing. There's always little bitches in the world. Like, if he wasn't a little bitch, he wouldn't be dressing as a baby. Yeah, but who gives a shit? Why do you care about these people?
Every conservative is a bitch. I mean, the whole war on Christmas. Who gives a shit about Christmas?
They're all little bitches, but who cares? They're just little bitches, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, the next episode, I'm gonna bring out somebody on the right. Maybe I have a cousin or something that's on the right, but and we're gonna talk about the war on Christmas and all these pussy ass people who get too sensitive about all this stuff. But I think that's enough for today. What do you say, Lucy?
I'm good. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Lizzie!
Follow us
I
at
finished the show.
_gorillas on Twitter.
Right.
Follow us on Facebook at 3 Gorillas Entertainment. YouTube, 3 Gorillas Entertainment. Buy stamps. Make sure to buy
Can you at least
stamps from
do it right?
stamps.com. Goodbye.
Okay.
Cue music. Goodbye.
Bye. You're such a dick, Lizzie.